Whenever I want to
walk out
go
the door
somewhere to relax,
onto quite a busy
I'd always
street,
go
which is
to a
nice. And the
food
time I
sort of
walk
place
is
because
lovely
food
because
is kind
everyone's
of my
starting to wake up
relaxation.
and go
This
to their
little cafe,
different jobs and
5
go to
minutes
school.
from where I
There's a
live,
school next
literally
door
like
to us.
down my hill.
And I always go to
it's
the same
called,
coffee shop every morning.
The
It's nice to
Boulangerie.
see
It's like a
familiar
French
faces
sort of
and have a
patisserie. The
familiar
whole of the front
mocha just behind the bus
of
stop,
it is
and it's
glass,
convenient.
so you can see straight in, like straight through the place.
I like the
Even
fact that all
door
the
is
cakes
glass.
are laid out at the front.
It has a canopy.
It's also
that
got like massive
sort of
windows,
comes
so
out
actually
onto the street, so
you can
kind
see
of
people
feel like
walking past when you're
you're
waiting for your coffee.
escaping the road.
And the
a
windows
little
are
bit,
currently
the whole
sat
front,
because the road
which is
is
really
like
nice because you
quite
feel like
cafe that's
you're
just
waking
around
up
the
with
corner from
everyone,
where I
getting
live.
ready
step
for
that
the day
you
with
just
Called the
everyone,
Electric
everywhere.
Elephant.
So
on their
it's
way
already
somewhere.
on the
colourful,
pavement, but
vibrant
there's also like a
place
little
with
ramp.
being
familiar
productive
So
for the
faces
day.
it's
that
higher
It's
than the
nice
road.
make it much more
So it
just
it
walk
does feel
around,
like
but be in
welcoming.
coming
spaces,
away.
And I think that in
open
some
the
ways
glass
is
is
what
quite
people
nice
look
as well
real
because you
for
can
when
contrast
they
still
to
go
see the
to
busyness of
really
repeated
outside,
because when
spaces.
you
can't
work
hear
out,
it.
it's nice to
As
be
in
We
around
usually
factories,
like
big
tend to go
buildings,
there
lots
when
of
it's a nice
glass,
day, so it'll
lots
be
of
things that
sort
we
of
can relate
So
to.
my
like blue
weekend
People
skies,
that
even though I always
and it
smile,
gets lots
that
of
know
light
your
it's a
name.
different place
so it
because
it
it's a
doesn't
calmer
feel like
place,
you're disconnected
different
from
state
world
of
that's
mind
kind of
trying to get
drifting
but
to me.
away
you're far enough
from
away,
connection
so you don't
and
have to think
people
about that.
And one
There's
of the
lots of
windows
face to
natural light.
face.
They have
into
loads of
the block,
skylights.
the house
For me,
block
it's really
next
nice to
door.
be able to come
So
here and
And
yeah,
the
you
other
get
window
light from like
has a
all
tree in
angles,
between.
always working.
because it
And
is
I only
quite
open
a
one
thin
blind during
sort
the
of
weekends,
ketchup
which is the
holders
one
and
that goes to the
so I
tree.
think they've
And I
tried to
wake,
make it
well, I
feel
wake
more
up quite
open by
early because
adding
I'm
skylights and all
used
the
to waking up
charm.
early during the week.
Most of the walls are
And I
white,
will open the blind that looks
so
on
I
the
think
tree.
yeah, they've
And
tried
go
to
back
sort
to
of
bed.
use
university
the
in
light
I
itself
can
and
see
is
that
quite
from my
a
walls
bed.
and
place
things to
that I'm
make
In
drawn
the
it
to
countryside,
feel
you
more
know
open.
lots of people
I know
that you see
there's
every day.
similar
Um,
people
London's
there
very
kind
impersonal.
of on the
You will
same
not
mission as
see
I am.
homely,
People
rustic,
people that you
in the
recognise
zone
on the
and kind
street,
of
so
doing
it's
their
really
own
lovely
work.
to build up a
The
routine
main
so that you're
spaces
seeing
of the building
similar
have
faces.
changed quite often.
mainly
day.
around the
It's quite
kitchen
nice.
and
Beautiful
bar
trees.
area.
Like the
The food
walls
is
and
a
it's very
big
peaceful
part
to
of the
see
place,
nature.
obviously,
And
and
I
they have like
often go there
idea
lots of
of
little
just to
stands
sit
where all
the
the different
build
types of salads
or
go.
down by the river.
Cakes are on little
And it's
stools
just, I think it's very,
tables,
if you're getting
things like
claustrophobic,
that. So
there are a
it's
lot
like
of people around who
highlighting
will
the main
barge
part of
into you.
the place. The lighting is still
very
quite
nice
warm
to
inside.
see
The lighting is
defining yourself
definitely very
as an
inviting.
artist, as a
or
filmmaker,
spaces that aren't
as a
occupied
graphic
by
designer,
people.
Find out what's inside.
but
It's
you're
quite
just
a
green
thin space,
spaces,
square tables,
redefining that
can be quite
walls that are all
unnerving
like
to
pushed
be
up
in a
against the wall,
space
so they're
which is very
high.
big and
And
open.
the outside
With quite a lot of people
they're
who
all
are
made out of
quite
like a
quiet.
really nice sort of
Getting
textured
on
wood.
the button
So again, that adds a bit of colour and a bit of
Quite
like
stressful.
homeliness to it. It makes it feel a
I
bit more
always try and
natural.
position
Usually
myself
it's just
so
me and
that
my
I can see
grandma,
out the
so we
window
just get like a small
and
table
just
for
try
two.
and have to try
when
and
you're
blend
People
when
do
you're
still
in it,
come
you
in
really
and
get
just
a
get
sense of
coffee and sit with
history.
their laptops
For me, I get a
and
sense
do
of what
work, and
London
mums
used
come
to
in with
be.
their kids.
It's quite a
Stay there
visual
for
space.
ages.
My home.
You're not being pestered by the staff, like constantly. They kind of leave you to it. It's very laid back
I think a lot of things
all
in
of the
flat
staff
really
are actually
stick a
French
memory for
themselves,
me.
so it
I
kind
think
of
spaces
adds
is
to
also very much
the
about
authenticity of the
who
actual
you're
place.
with,
All of
and
their
your
like
perception
fresh produce in them. So they have like boxes of butternut squash, like purple onions, leeks, cabbages, colourful. All of the elements make it much warmer and more like approachable.
I wouldn't be
and you definitely don't feel like you have to rush in and rush out. It's somewhere that you can stay.
Yeah, the only reason I'm
It gives you a little break from the harsh concrete
no-
sort of lines and the big
there is no
scary
drive for me to
building.
live here.
Coming from like a busy tube with all the
I like
people
this
and,
environment, but I
the
wouldn't
sort of
choose
stress
this
of the
as a place.
centre of
I don't
London.
think it's peaceful.
It would be like it's a really nice like
Yeah, I
landscape,
to go
and I think
pick up my
any-
plants
you sort of get off
because
the
I don't
they're at my
think it's
friend's
bus or
house.
whatever.
very good for your well-being
and
to
just go
live in
and
London.
sit and
But yeah,
have
I
like
think-
a
I
nice
think
coffee and
lots
just
of
I don't know if
people
it's the
be
same.
surrounded
very
by a
stressed
nice
here.
I
calm
think with nature
atmosphere.
there's an
And-
enormous
Because even
sense
if
of
the place itself is busy,
day
it still
of wondering,
has
it's
like a
not controlled, and I
relaxed
quite like
atmosphere.
that.
There is an element of like
I think the only way to live in
reality
London
about it,
would
because I know
be
the place
to live in a
well.
very
I think
specific
the
way,
aesthetics
of all,
to
I
live
think
in
it's
very lovely streets
drawing
near
a
lots
certain
of
type of
green
person,
spaces, but that would just be, that wouldn't
and
be
the objects
what
that
I
they
choose
have
to do,
and
but
the
that would
items
be
that they they use to display things, that has a direct effect on what's in the door. They always make an effort actually to change up the displays every now and then, because obviously they don't want it to become like boring or just
Much
like
happier
too
now that I've got
expected.
a home
So
studio
they always
with
keep the same
people
sort of
that make it a
display,
home.
but changing it
That's
around so
important.
that enough is
The
different.
thing when you're
to
living in
be
London
able
is to
like,
live with
wonder
people
what's different about
who
it this
you're
time.
always happy to see when you get
There's
home,
consistency
who
in
will
that the
you know,
position
you've got
of the
those home
tables
smells of
never
home
moved,
cooked
but like
food.
What
So
the
about
if
actual
this house
the
is
outside? Can you just
grey
arrangement
brick
of the
building
food and like
and
the
there are
layout of
tiny
the
windows
objects in the
and not
place,
much
that
light, but
I
in
know
it
that at this
were the
moment
same
in
people that
time,
you
personally, I
love,
like
would
that
you
it's
be
busy
as
because
happy?
obviously
right
being
thing
from
I wouldn't be
London,
as
I'm
happy
used
with
to
it.
like busy and
So
But I'd
definitely
still be,
sounds
it definitely
always
affects
gonna
me.
be
I'm in
An
like a
environment,
stressed
our
out
matter
mood,
what,
living
sometimes
room
it's
sitting
nice
in
to go
now has
somewhere
got lots of
always be about the people.
lovely colours in,
So
lots
it's
of
not
things on the
somewhere that you
wall,
go
lots of
They
personal
to
little
decompress,
objects, and it just
to
feels
peace,
very
it's somewhere you go
homely, and the
just
wooden
to, it's a
floorboards
happy
lovely.
space, makes
Yeah.
you feel good.
Yeah, no,
And
it's,
it
it's
just-
a happy space.
Does
I would,
your,
if, like, I did want
space, your
like,
own
peace
space,
and
yeah,
sort of
think
quiet. I
it's
think
connected to
I
who
would just
you
end
are
up going
at that time?
home because then you're
'Cause
guaranteed
in your
like
room, obviously,
quiet,
you
and
put all
I
your
think when
things
you're
like
going to
images and
a
you
different
decorate
sort of
your
space, you
plants
never
and
know
your colours.
who's going to be there, if
I
there's
think
going to be a
it's an
crying
extension
baby, or
of
if there's going to
your
be like
personality
what
and
kind of
your
music's going to be
identity.
playing.
I don't
Yeah,
necessarily
it's,
think
yeah, it's
that
less
the way I
controllable.
decorate
So
my
obviously, like
room
with
is a
this
reflection of
cafe,
my
I know what I'm
personality.
going to
It's
expect,
a
but
reflection
not,
of what
like,
I find
yeah, it's not
comforting.
always guaranteed.
Because
Okay. I was
very
also
quickly,
wondering,
from living in London, I realised
some people
that
refer to cafes
you know,
as
you have
third
no
space, so
personal
like
space
home
in
comes
London.
first, then
The
your
only
work
space you have in London is your
Do you
room.
agree with that?
Everything else belongs to
Divide
everyone.
another space.
So it's really
Yeah.
important to make your room
Yeah, I think
a
it's
place that you
definitely
can shut the
important to
door
have
behind
more
you,
than,
and it's
like,
just
just
yours,
your home and,
it's
like,
your
work.
place, and you
Yeah.
feel
Obviously, they're
safe
very
and
two
comforted,
very different things.
as
like,
if you could be
home
anywhere.
is,
So I
like,
think I chose
you
very
can
muted
completely
colours
relax
for my
and you're
room
completely
because I
comfortable
find that
and you
more
can do what you want to your own
peaceful and
home,
calming.
and work is like
And
the
I always
opposite.
like to
You're
have
in someone
flowers
else's
in my room.
environment. But I think when
Even
you
if they're
have like
really
a
cheap
favourite
or really
cafe or like
Yeah.
ugly, it just
a
makes
bar or
me
a restaurant
happier.
that you go to,
So
it's
much
like
happier to have flowers in my room.
it's
And
somewhere that you
candles,
can
I
go
have scented candles. Like the smell is very important
outside
coming
of
into my room.
like
What about the
what you're
shape of it?
outside of your routine.
smaller.
So it's like almost
So
more
I've
of
had
a
very
special
small
trip
rooms.
or like a
Um,
special event
and
for you
again,
to go
muted
out of your
colours are
house
nice
and to
for
go
that
to this
because
nice comfortable place.
You just feel calm
yeah, and
when
it's a
you're
space
there.
to be sociable
I like
and to,
minimalist.
I don't know, invite other people or just
Yeah.
just
And it's nice to
eavesdrop on
have
other
pictures up
conversations,
that are
which is what I
personal,
like to
things
do.
you've collected and stuff like that. But
When you lived in places in London that weren't as nice,
Do you feel controlled
did you
by
have
public spaces?
alternative
So
places
the
to go,
cafe
like
that
cafes
you're
or
does
I
the
don't
space
know,
control your
places to hang out that weren't your home? So you weren't. You
I'd
didn't
say
want
to
go
a
back to your
certain
house
extent,
necessarily
definitely.
because
Like
it's
you,
not a
obviously,
nice
if you're
space.
in public in a
yeah, so I
public
did spend.
space,
I've always
you know
found
that there's
like
a certain
a green
amount of,
space
like,
nearby,
I don't
and
know,
often
expectations
as well if I
on
wasn't
you or
quite ready to go into the
limitations
house.
possibly
I
even.
would sit outside.
Like you
in
can
the-
walk into a
in the
cafe like
park
naked,
for
like
10
that's not
minutes
okay.
before going in.
But at the same time,
Also had like cafes that
I think
were
in a
familiar to me
place
that I would like to go
where
and sit in and do
I
like
don't
an
know,
hour
in a
or
place
so
like that where
calm
you
work
can
just
just
to
sort
get
of
out
walk
of
in
the
and you're
house.
left to your own devices a bit.
It's quite difficult doing work in
You
your
also
room. I
do
don't
have that
think
freedom because
it
you
makes-
can leave whenever you want. You can
you feel very
order as
good to
much food, you can
associate
stay as
your
long as you want.
own
technically.
personal sanctuary with
So yeah,
a job
it's a bit
or
like-
with work that you have to do. So if I
in,
can
like,
avoid
compared to a
working
home,
in my room, I
you
will at
control
all
your
costs.
home space.
Um,
you basically design your home.
But other
Yeah.
places to go,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
I
you
just
have
mainly
It's
walked.
already designed.
There
Yeah,
weren't
a cafe is
necessarily
definitely what
cafes
someone
or things
else-
that I go
like
to
someone
work
else's
apart
idea
from
of a
there
perfect
used to be a
environment,
very
but
nice
if
tea
that
shop
fits with what your
that I
idea
used to
of
go
a
to
great
that had
place to
really,
be is,
it was
then
really
works
big,
great.
like a warehouse.
And yeah,
And I had lots of
exactly.
very
And
low
obviously, like with your
tables,
house,
wooden
you can
tables, and
decorate
it was
as
very
much as you
comforting
want.
because it had big windows that you could see
But obviously
onto
that's
the street.
expensive and
But you could
not
sit there
very,
with your
like,
pot
practical.
of tea
So I guess
and-
if you have like a few
and just
favourite
sort of
places to go,
know
if
that
you're
you
in like
shouldn't
a
get too worked up
certain
about
mood, you can go
anything
to like a
because
boulangerie one day.
Yeah.
you
it
can
was
go
such a
to, like,
peaceful environment. You
have,
almost
like,
couldn't,
prep
even if
the
you
next
wanted to
day
be
if
stressed, you
wanted
couldn't.
busier, sort of quicker lunch or
And so,
something.
do you think
So
a
it's
sanctuary
like
can't
it's
be
easier
a
to go to all
confined
these
space?
different
Do you
places
think
if you want a different environment.
you find it in open spaces?
Um,
I think it can be a confined space. I do find it comforting sometimes to be in small spaces,
so,
but I think as long as it's your
in
own
London
space,
now, lots of
I think-
cafes are
I think for me me,
in
it's about
quite
having
a similar way,
space that you
like
know
the rough
is yours and belongs to you, and it doesn't matter how big or how small it is, as long as it's yours.
Yeah.
atmosphere.
And I
That's
also
quite-
think
it's
that
not new, a new
having
thing, but it is quite
routines
Yeah.
Do you
like
think
little routines
um,
can make
that's
you
made
feel
cafe
comforted
culture
because you
appealing?
always
Because
know
it's
when
like
you're
a
getting
home
up
away
that
from
that's
home. It's not
what you're
such
going
a
to do,
controlled
and
public space.
it takes away like
Yeah.
It's more free.
you have to make everyone has to make so many
I
decisions in their
definitely
daily
think so,
life. So
because
if you
that
don't have to
whole,
make
like,
those decisions
yeah,
as much
like
as possible,
retro
it
aesthetic,
feels
like
comforting
with
and
the
safe
really
to have
like
these
rough,
routines. It can be very unsettling if you have a routine
yeah,
where you don't feel
the
it.
big
So
sort
do you
of
think that's
sofa-y
something
chairs
from
that
a
are like
state of mind
kind of mashed up
that you
but
get
nice.
from
Kind of
certain
Yeah, kind of old. Yeah,
Or do you
it's like
think it-
old and
I
a
think
bit
you
beaten
can
up,
either
but also,
have a
like,
sanctuary from a
comfortable
place,
because you know it's been worn down.
or
I think that whole aesthetic, like,
or from a state of
yeah,
mind
it's
that you
very
can create
current. It's very
yourself
big at the moment, and it
through
does
a
make
routine
you want to
something like
like
that.
go
So
to these places more.
my bedroom is like my
Um,
sanctuary
so,
space, but my routine
yeah.
is like my sanctuary
It
state
makes
of
you feel
mind,
less
Okay.
controlled.
and they do affect
Because
each other,
It's not
Yeah.
so orderly.
but they're
Yeah, I
not
You
just
don't
mutually
behave as you
exclusive.
would in a like
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely think so. It gives you the sense that you don't have to like it doesn't feel like a restaurant as
No.
much, and it doesn't feel like, oh, I come in, I eat, and I go. It's like just another loungy place, like you would lounge in your living room. So I guess that does make you feel more at ease and more like at home in these outsider.
But do you think, because those spaces are still controlled, so they are
Yeah.
making those spaces to give you that feeling?
Yeah, it's definitely like a technique to get people to come in and buy
Yeah.
more things and eat there more because you feel more at home there.
Do you think they do it to provide a restorative environment, or do you think they just do it for money? Or do you, there's lots of family-run cafes do it
Yeah.
because they just like that. That's
I think that completely depends on whether it's a big chain or whether it's a one-off family-run place. Because if it is like a family-run place, obviously they want to be able to pay the bills, so you
Yeah.
have to there's that element of it. But they do want it because it's their like personal livelihood. They want it to be nice and they want people to enjoy going there.
Yeah.
And they want people like a community, a sense of community, I guess. But with the bigger chains like Costa and Starbucks and stuff like that, I think that's just purely a money thing.
Money-based.
Like now Costa and things have been starting to copy that aesthetic in to try and make people come into there more, like thinking that it's this cute family run cafe when actually it's
False
not.
identity,
It is a
yeah.
false identity that a lot of places are taking on.
But you don't think that the independent cafes do that? You think they're generally quite they're not copying something, or they're not making the environment to control you. They're just creating a place that you can come and relax in.
Yeah, definitely for the independent cafes, it's just they would want an environment that the people themselves would feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, if it's your cafe, you have the power to do that.
Yeah.
So, that's it really.
Thanks, Zach.
That's right.